Hello to all my stash busting friends out there. Welcome back to Scrapping the Stash with Gail, Chronicles of the Craft Room. Yes, I do know it's Christmas, and Merry Christmas to everyone out there viewing today. But this is going to be a stash busting layout today based on one of my sketch challenges that I am in every month. This is from my upline in Stamping Up. And I know it is Christmas theme, as it should be since it is December. But I am going to turn this into a fall layout and make it my own. I am going to be using papers from the Paper Studio paper pad called Joyful Gathering. Now, this was printed in 2019, but I will tell you that I picked this up this past fall in 2025. And so I do know that they still have it. Lots of great colors. I love the turquoise in these traditional autumn colors. So this is a page kit that I made when I was tearing down paper pads. And this is the hero photo that I based this entire collection on. So we've got some medium-sized flora with some neutral. We've got a little bit more intricate design with some linear pieces. And we also have this wonderful diagonal gingham check plaid that brings the turquoise, green, and grays together. And then I also included kind of this cream background with some barn red, lighter, fluffier foliage to kind of give your layout some movement with this paper pack. So I love making page kits. And then I absolutely love it even more when I get to use them for a layout. Now, I've also included these two colors of green, turquoisey and sagey green, in contrasting colors to work with foliage and matting, photos, and all of those things. This just came from my stash. It's just textured cardstock, just a medium weighted cardstock. Nothing spectacular. There is just a little bit of a heathering to this darker green, but I just thought both of those went really nicely with this page kit. We are going to start with a cream colored cardstock back here. And yes, you are on the right channel. I know I usually start with a colored cardstock or a printed paper background, but because of the sketch and the large photos that it calls for and the pictures I'm using, the pictures have tons of color. They are extremely busy. And so I felt like I really needed to be able to have a base background that was neutral and not busy. So bringing the sketch back in, there are 5 pictures total, and then a journaling spot down here. So what I've decided to do though is because I have, sorry for the rock and roll there. I have this main picture here, and then I've gone ahead and taken 2 3x4s and put them into a 4x6. And then these 2 pictures here are normal size. And then I went ahead and did 2 3x4s in this spot here. And then where the journal box is on the sketch, I am going to do my normal trick of using a flip flap here. And then putting my journal here in this spot. So looking at these 2 papers here, these are what I think I would like to use because it has the turquoise in it. There's not a lot of blue or turquoise in these pictures. There's more all of the traditional autumn colors, the oranges, the reds, and the yellows, beige, that kind of stuff. There's not a lot of blue in it. So I thought that these papers would be a great contrast. The sketch calls for basically 2 bands all the way across. And so this is a darker color, and I felt like it was heavier than this plaid up here. So I thought I would start off with this, and I do like the way that looks. And then I wanted to bring in this green color, because there is a separation, a band, a small band in between the pictures and this bottom paper. So I wanted to try that, and I like that. But when I put this up here with this, it just, I don't know. I don't like it as much. I'm sure when I go on camera or look on camera, it's going to look just fine. But liking it with this, not liking it with that as much. So I wanted to try this darker green to see what this looked like with the top paper. And I do like that, but I feel like there's almost too much contrast now. Let's add the dark paper. Let's add the dark paper to this bottom one. I don't mind that so much. I do like the darker. Now, I do want to mat these photos in a colored paper, so I'm wondering if I mat it on this sage green, if that's going to make a difference or not. I'm almost going to need to mat them. Oh, I like it with the darker color. I really like that with the darker color. I think matting them is going to make it, give it a contrast between this. Yeah, I like that a lot better. And I think that the darker color on the pictures is going to be good. I wonder what it would look like now that the photos are matted in a dark color, what it would look like with the lighter green here. I do like that. Okay, I'm going to go for it, and I am going to cut my papers, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have all of my background pieces laid out, and I love when you go with your gut, you trust yourself, and you just go for it. Because in this case, I went with the lighter green sage cardstock here and matted all my photos in the darker green. And I love the way this turned out, especially where the pictures with the mats overlap with these horizontal pieces of the lighter green. There's a contrast there, and I really am glad that I just went with my gut and went for it. Now, before we move on to the fun part and all the embellishing, I wanted to show you how I'm working this picture down here. So this picture is going to go into a flip flap. So what I did was I put this picture on a mat, and then I flipped it over and put this on the opposite side. So it's on one mat. There's two pictures on either side of one mat. And then what I do with that is, this is the flip flap. And the flip flap, if you've not experienced what these are, basically it's just a way to add pictures, more pictures to your layout. Now, a majority of scrapbookers like to adhere these to their page protectors on the outside of the actual layout. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. It is the easiest route. I actually prefer to attach it to my layout, cut a slit in my page protector, and then fish this through the page protector so that this flip flap is attached to the layout inside, but coming through to the outside of the layout. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So this is the journal card, or journaling that I'm going to have attached to my layout right here. And I made this from a Pebbles ink 4x4 journaling card stack. This is the fall, and this is from 2007. I mean, talking about your stash dive. I have an entire box full of things like this. And I really want to work on getting rid of stuff like this and using it until I'm sick of it. So what I did is I just cut one of those 4x6 journaling cards down to where I could mat it nicely, where it would line up with my picture in the page protector, so you won't see it laying behind there. So what I do is this strip here, has a side that is plastic and a side that has this strip that you need to peel off, and then that shows the sticky part of it. Okay. Now, one thing that I have learned is that these don't line up 100%. Okay. So just pretend I've taken this off. Now, when I flip this over, okay, to attach to the layout or to this card, because this is the sticky side, and I'm going to attach it to this. Okay, now this, imagine this on your layout. This piece and this piece here that is sticking out is sticky. So you're going to want to trim that off so that it doesn't stick to your flip flap. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here next. So while I'm holding this, I am going to line my scissors up to the edge of the picture. My hand is shaky for some reason tonight. And then once you flip that over then and try to stick, you can see that that's no longer going to stick to my flip flap. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So now that I've got that cut down to size, I am going to remove this strip. There we go. And so now I'm going to make sure that I'm lined up, and then I am going to fold this over and make sure that it is sticking to that journal card. So now it opens up perfectly. There's nothing sticky about this at all. And then you can just attach the back of that to your layout. And now you have a picture, two pictures, and then the journaling that will be underneath it. Now, the nice thing about these is that you can add another one right over this. So then you would have 2, 3, 5 flip flaps, however many you want, to put in there. Now, I don't do too many because then the page gets too heavy. But 1 to 3 is about as many as I do. I am really happy with the way this base page has turned out, and I love the colors so far. Let's get to embellishing.
Now, if you're new to my channel, you will soon find out that white backgrounds do not work well for Miss Gale. So I decided to take a leaf stencil and add some subtle fall colors to these background areas on my paper. And then also, I'm using fall colors that are retired ink pads from Close to My Heart. I'm sure, though, that if mine are still working, if you want this specific color, you can either match it with a Stampin' Up! Ink pad or another ink pad, or find them out there on the Close to My Heart ink pads on eBay. So I love to stencil soft backgrounds and make my own printed backgrounds on lighter cardstock paper. It just, I think, adds to any layout, just a nice touch. Moving on to my title here. I really wanted wine to stand out, so I found these chipboard letters in my stash, and then I wanted to work on the rest of the title in and around that. So I'm struggling a little bit with placement. I really wanted that shopping word to be on top of wine. I really liked the way that was working, but then the ing, it didn't stand out, and I really didn't want to try to make it pop like the rest of the word. And of course, looking at it now, it would have been fine. Now, these stickers are a deep dash dive. They are from Provo Craft, Sandy Lion, and Creative Memories, all from the early 2000s. I am also using this bow punch retired from Stampin' Up, but it is a workhorse. And then some wood veneer leaves from Michaels. And lastly, some Echo Park ephemera from the Harvest collection. Now, as I fiddle with these embellishment clusters, I wanted to put us on turbo and tell you a little bit about this layout. These ladies are the wives of the wolf pack, and we call ourselves the Lady Pack. And we decided that it was time that we needed a girls' day out, and we were going to go shopping, Christmas shopping, and, buy some things for ourselves, of course. Now, I had had my grandson this in the morning, and then met them for lunch and drinks, and then more shopping after that. Now, the wolf pack are my husband's best friends from high school, and we are just very, very lucky that all of the wives get along so well. It's great to have friends, but it's even a bigger blessing when your husband's friends embrace you and like you as well. Now, right here, I'm finding out that these stickers are actually vellum. So I ended up having to put them on white cardstock and fussy cut them out. But I really like the way it looked once I put that white background on it. Tip for today: if you're struggling with an embellishment cluster, move on. Now, I have had these creative memories shape punches in my stash since the early 2000s. And I just love the fact that you can make a border around your stickers with the four different sizes. So that's what I decided to do with these ephemera pieces. Just adding some ink around the edges to add a little dimension because I plan on popping these up. And I love happy accidents in scrapbooking. See how the stenciling is actually extending these clusters and moving your eye across the layout? And this cluster is getting there. Now, when you're using flip flaps, if you're going to use a cluster around a flip flap, you really need to take into account the way that cluster works with the flip flap open or in up position, as well as when it's closed or laying down against your layout. So sometimes that can be a little cumbersome. My advice is to just keep building your cluster with the flip flap open and then close it to see how it looks and add pieces or move pieces around until you get the desired look, both with the flip flap closed as well as it open. Now, I feel like that this needed a little pop of something behind it down here, so I'm going to add this frame to this embellishment cluster, and I wanted to balance the layout, so I cut it in half so that I could put a piece of it here, and then for balance to the layout, I'm going to add the other half of it to the top left cluster.
Okay, I have everything attached to the layout. Everything is stuck down, the embellishment clusters, my title, all of the photos. So I'm ready to bring the sketch in so that we can look at this and compare our layout. So we've got the four embellishment clusters here with a subtitle and the title here on the left, and we've got a journal box. So what I went ahead and did was I've got my two photos here with the two embellishment clusters and then my title. It is a little bit larger than the one in the sketch, but the placement is the same. And then I have my two photos here, my two vertical photos. And then I put two pictures here together to create this larger um, piece over here, or a larger photo over here. I did put my journal box over here where the layout suggested, but I have added a flip flap so that I can add two more pictures to this layout. Now, what I went ahead and did, I'll give you some close-ups here of my embellishment clusters. So I did this stenciling down the side to kind of make this embellishment cluster come down and frame this picture. And then these are from my stash. I'm using those alpha stickers. And then I've got another cluster over here with those wooden um, leaves that I got from Michaels and the bow punch leaves that I got from Stampin' Up. It's a retired punch. Then these leaves come back up the side here, kind of bringing the focal point over through these pictures. I have my subtitle up here, What a Beautiful Autumn Day. It was a gorgeous day that day. So it definitely tells us a little bit more about the story. And so then I included the same pieces in this embellishment cluster, as well as those vellum stickers that I ended up putting on white cardstock and then fussy cutting them out. Now, this down here, I've got an extra bow here. This cluster down here, then, I included the frame that I found from the Echo Park collection, and then I just made sure that it looked nice when you opened up this flap as well as when it is shut. It just makes it look like a finished layout. So thanks again for joining me today for this sketch challenge. And I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas and looking forward to the new year coming up. I, for certain, am looking forward to 2026 as I am going to start Project Catch Up in 2026. I am going to try to attempt to catch up 10 years worth of scrapbooking all in 2026. So stay tuned for that. I hope that you just keep scrapping the stash. Have a great new year, and bye bye for now.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.